Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mothers have practically built themselves. Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Today we are on our way over to Mark's house. I'm just grabbing a couple of things out of the dog house real quick. I've got some tanks and a couple other little things that I'm going to put in a little box, and we're going to head on over to Mark's. We've got a very special event that Mark and I do every single year, and this is no exception. And that is, we have what we call a Battle of the Bulge party. Not this bulge, because we both have that bulge, but this is one that we've been doing since high school. Mark and I met my freshman year in high school, or our freshman year in high school, in a small engines class. He had been a sweeper at the school that I wound up taking his job when he got fired. And that's kind of how we met. Is he came up to me in class one day and said, "Hey, you're the guy that got my job." And I'm like, "I did." So, and we've been friends ever since. We've had a lot of great times in high school, and one of the things that we used to do is we would get to school early every day and just kind of hang out. It was our time together to do whatever. And one thing that we really liked to do was go to the library, check out a cassette, and I can't remember if it was beta or what it was, but a big old cassette tape of the movie Battle of the Bulge. And we could watch it there in the library, about 45 minutes a day, maybe a half hour. And we would watch that until the bell rang, and then we'd have to get to class. So we used to do that. We used to do that very regularly. So we saw that movie a lot. We both built model tanks at the time, and we did some cars too. But at that time, we built a lot of tanks, and we were both really interested in World War II history. And Battle of the Bulge was part of that. So anyway, years later, when we connected back up after Mark got out of the Army, we started to have these little get-togethers for different reasons. We would have Merv Fest, we would have Mark Fest. I think we've talked about Merv Fest before. We have. And just, a reason to get together and basically eat some of Mark's great food, because he was a cook. He went to culinary school, and do just something kind of fun. So today I'm going to show you what our Battle of the Bulge, or our Bob party, is. So without further ado, stick with Mad Dog Merv, because we're headed to Mark's for Battle of the Bulge Party 2020. So this is what we are here for, the 1965 movie, The Battle of the Bulge, starring Robert Shaw, Henry Fonda, had Robert Ryan in it. Charles Bronson was in it. Telly Savalas was in it. James MacArthur, who was Dano, is in it as well. And so, like I said, every year we watch this movie together during the time of the Battle of the Bulge. So the Battle of the Bulge, also known as the Ardennes Offensive, kicked off on the 16th of December, 1944, and lasted officially till the 25th of January, 1945. The German army tried to cut through the middle of the U.S. lines and divide the line into two, tried to lengthen the war, but they didn't have enough men, material, supplies, all that kind of stuff to make it a successful offensive. So as I said earlier, we like to get together and eat. Mark and I, well, we're a couple of fat guys. We like to eat. And usually it's bratwurst, especially for the Battle of the Bulge party. I mean, come on, we're going to have German food. So bratwurst and rotkohl and some potatoes au gratin. Oh, and Mark makes those from scratch. And it's just absolutely fabulous. And this year was no exception. The brats were amazing. And usually, Mark is a home brewer, so we'll have some barley pop, if you will, that he makes. However, this year, we didn't have any beer. We had this concoction. It's called a Jack Frost, which is blue Coroco, some light rum, pineapple juice, and it's a frosty blended drink. And oh man, it was delicious. You can see, blew right through that. So again, good food, good drink, good company. And this year it was just Mark and myself. Because of COVID, we didn't have a large group over. We could social distance very easily at his place and take precautions that we needed to take. So it was a small, scaled down party, but it was still a lot of fun. One thing we do every year is we have some centerpieces. Mark has a table it's a glass round top. It's on top of an old drag slick off of a Top Fuel dragster. Pretty cool table. I mean, really. But anyway, on the centerpiece, we'll have a little Christmas tree with some battery-powered lights, and we will place some tanks. And so I take over my 1/35 scale 70-ton King Tiger 2 that I built a couple of years ago. And Mark has a couple that he has done as well. I don't have any pictures of them. Shame on me. I need to go over and get some photos of his collection, because I'll tell you what, his armor, it's absolutely beautiful. It puts mine to shame. He does a great job. He's got a couple of great Tiger tanks. King Tigers, that is. Here is my Cobra King. This is built from the Tasca kit, and I decided to go ahead and paint the first in Bastogne on the right-hand side as well as the left-hand side. A lot of controversy about that. They said it was really only on the left-hand side for the photo op, but I've seen some rogue photo out there with it on, so I put it on both sides. So there you go. So I bring my Cobra King, and here, well, we have one of Mark's tanks. There, and you see the drag slick. It's the coolest thing ever. Actually, I think this came from Doug Coletta's car, if I am not mistaken, a few years ago, from his Top Fuel dragster, and the piece of glass over it. Anyway, there's our centerpiece, and I've got some little figures there in the middle that are kind of lounging around as well. Here with the lights out and just a little Christmas tree, it kind of gives it that little, I don't know, that little Christmassy feeling, if you will. But anyway, it's just a lot of fun, because you've got the the models to look at. We got the movie, we've got the food. Oh my goodness! And of course, we've got great company. Mark and I have a lot of fun telling stories, particularly of the past. So this year, I decided to take over a couple of other models as well. Here is my M10 Tank Destroyer. And this is the old Tamiya kit. Dressed it up with a bunch of gear, and it turned out pretty good. They played a very important role in the Battle of the Bulge. And then I also took over my priest. And yes, Mark and I both could definitely use a priest, but a different kind of priest. This is one that I built a couple of years ago, and representing the artillery folks that were present during the Battle of the Bulge, who played a very important role in the American defense. Well, a couple of years ago, and this is from a couple of years ago, one of the parties that we had some of our friends over, and we called this group the Damn Guys, Dinner and a Movie Guys. Have a lot of fun getting together and having a monthly movie. Fairly early in the movie, Robert Shaw is inspecting some troops, and they sing a song. It's called the Panzerlied. So we join in every year. It's just kind of a tradition. And translated, it's whether it storms or snows, whether the sun laughs at us, the day scorching hot or ice cold the night, the faces are dusted, but our mind is happy. Is our sense, our tanks roar. There is a storm, a wind, whether it storms or snows, whether the sun laughs at us, whether the day scorches hot or ice cold the night, the faces are dusted, but our mind is happy. Is our sense, our tanks roar. You get the idea. After the movie, we have a habit of putting on another movie, sometimes a war movie. A year ago, though, we played a game called Being Boozled, and this thing is great because you've got these jelly beans. They all look the same. Well, I should say they don't look the same, but you've got like the blue ones, and one flavor is toothpaste, the other one is berry. And then you've got a black one, and one is like canned dog food, and the other one is chocolate pudding. You got a green one that's either lawn clippings or lime. You know, you get the idea. The yellow one is like sour milk or eggnog. I mean, anyway. A year ago, my daughter Rosie was playing with us, and well, this in this picture here, she got lawn clippings. Unfortunately, Mark got the rotten egg. I didn't get anything bad. I got all the yummy jelly beans, so lucky for me. Anyway, folks, that's our Bob party, or Battle of the Bulge party. We do it every year. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed this.